In 2006, my entire family, my extended family, gathered at the UCF Arena. That's the old UCF Arena, to celebrate my younger brother's high school graduation. With my last name, Levin, falling, in the middle of the alphabet, we had to stay alert and pay attention and listen really carefully for Andrew's name. It was sort of mixed in among 750 other graduates. I vividly remember looking over at one point and seeing my grandpa of blessed memory dozing off. And really, I could not blame him. 45 straight minutes of unfamiliar names is hard to take. With that, I want to transition into talking about this week's portion, which is the first parasha of the book of Numbers, the first parasha of Bamidbar. By and large, this week's parasha reads like a census. We already knew the mass of Israelites that had left Egypt was large, but now we sort of find out exactly, down to this individual, how large. We find out how many soldiers Moses had potentially at his disposal and to which families they belong. This week's parasha and its heavy connection with family life and the matter of passing on of the family name maybe consider sort of parenting as a concept. What kind of characteristics do I want to pass on? What kind of characteristics do we as a people want to pass on? More specifically, I want to talk about ritual. Where do these rituals come from? What do they mean to us as a people? And more importantly, how and why are they passed along to the next generation? How does one teach young children too young for formal learning, about Judaism, about our traditions and rituals? Rabbi Dr. Bradley Shavit Artson mused on this idea in a commentary on this week's parasha. He wrote that the transmission of culture, quote, is often simply through exposure and through example. In other words, children learn by watching us do. He continues by emphasizing the importance of an older generation having enough knowledge and experience to pass on the traditions, which is not to say that each and every Jew among us needs to spend years at a yeshiva amassing a wealth of knowledge, dedicating their lives entirely to the study of Torah. We're often called the people of the book, but really it's our actions and our rituals that define us as a people. Now, there are any number of commentators who have recognized the Israelites wandering as a desert can be read as a metaphor for education. It really almost writes itself. The Jews, the Israelites, leave Egypt, leave the darkness of slavery in Egypt. They wander for 40 years. At the beginning, they receive the Torah. They begin this process of learning. This is especially notable this week when we are going to celebrate the holiday of Shavuot on Wednesday. I want to propose that we should view childhood learning in much the same way. It's a constant process of developing understanding, of internalizing what each previous generation had already done. There's certainly a formal component, which the analog of which is the holiday of Shavuot, but this is followed by practice, by repetition. There are going to be certainly mistakes and missteps, but hopefully by the end, you get a Jewish adult fully clear on what the religion means to them and how to make it part of their life. As we mark Shabbat this week and as we look ahead to celebrating Shavuot on Wednesday, I will be focusing on the ways in which Judaism encourages and supports people who are seeking out a new and better understanding of the religion, helping to make it personal for each and every Jew. Shabbat Shalom.